Yes, so over the holidays, I learned a little bit more about LinkedIn's new algorithm. And this algorithm was introduced in the fall. However, I was in promotion mode and we were all doing the right things. But now we are entering a new year, and I want to talk about LinkedIn's new algorithm called 360 Brew. So I shared like a 3-minute video last week in the group. And I'll just go over a little bit about what it's about today. And I'm also going to talk about like how it is that we are going to start updating what it is that we share on LinkedIn. So as we're like moving forward and making those like slight changes, and they're really slight changes, I want to say continue to share content because the content that you are sharing, as long as it talks about how it is that you help. So it talks about like some of the pain points that your target audience is going through, the topics that you speak about right now. It talks about the transformation that you provide. Because we can share about pain points, but everyone wants to know about like what is the transformation that they are going to receive from you. I used to lead like a few years ago. I used to just lead with, this is what will happen. You will get this, you will get this, you will get this. And it wasn't really so much a transformation, but it was about like what it is I was going to deliver. So now it's about the pain points, the transformation. And we also spoke about keywords. So those keywords are when somebody is looking for what it is that you provide. So they're putting in their symptoms. It could be, for instance, let's say that like Anya, you're on the call. They might be like an entrepreneur or a woman business leader, and they're looking on Google or whatever search engine that they're looking for. And they're looking for because they are working hybrid, perhaps they're working in the office, and they're looking for how to make their home office space more organized. So, Anya, for you, you would start like even though you are speaking about how you can, provide a great vibration for the room, you're going to share things like office space, for instance, or home office, right? So, what are some of those keywords that your target audience is actually looking for? And those are the keywords that you are going to put into your content as well. So I'm going to go over to my slide presentation, and then it's pretty short. It's just mainly to talk about 360 Brew. And then also there's going to be time to ask about this and ask about any other questions that you have about LinkedIn as well. So I'm going to move over and portion of the screen, my email. Oh, okay. Oh, is everybody still on the call?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
great. And you see do you see the presentation right now? Okay, awesome. Okay. So our theme for January is known for. And I put the themes together a month or two in advance. And doing this theme, like where lots of us are sharing on LinkedIn consistently, or maybe not so consistently. So this is about getting us all on the right track. So January is about known for, and known for is about like stepping into our purpose, like what it is that we do and the services that we provide for our clients. Before I go into this, I found a post by Amy Porterfield. Amy Porterfield, I'm a huge fan of hers. What she does is she does like a lot of courses. She teaches entrepreneurs how to create courses. And she shared this on Instagram, even though we're talking about LinkedIn. So she shared this. Women are building businesses like never before. And 2026 isn't slowing that momentum down, it's turning the volume up. So if you felt that quiet spark lately, that nudge says there's more for me here, and this is why. So she goes into it about how nearly half of the new businesses that were started last year were by women, and this is not a trend. She also shared some things that we build in seasons that feel uncertain, which 2025 was that way. We pivot when life changes overnight. We turn pressure into possibility. And this is a US number. A 65% increase in women starting businesses after a partner lost a job tells a bigger story. It says that we're not waiting for things to feel stable, we're creating the stability. And then it goes on to say that you're not alone and you're part of a powerful wave of women redefining what resilience actually looks like. And I really enjoyed this because it's saying that we're not alone. And also something that I always to speak about in Content Lab, it's about owning your presence. So January is about known for, and that means clarifying your focus, strengthening your positioning, and leading with intention. So, when it comes to what it is that entrepreneurs do, many people they are posting on social media or they're posting on LinkedIn consistently. The thing is that what they're sharing on LinkedIn while it is consistent, it's not clear as to what it is that they provide in terms of services or who it is that they help. So that goes to the next point that few are remembered clearly. And that is like I always think about if somebody was, if any one of us were at a networking event and we're in a group content lab that has over 23 women entrepreneurs in the group. So there's like people in the group that do a range of things and they are the experts. So the question is that if one or two people out of this group were at a networking event and then somebody that they're having a conversation said, you know what? Wow, I am really struggling with situation A, or I'm really struggling with situation B. And for anybody who is in that group, would those two people be able to say, you know what? I know somebody, and this person, she does this, she would be the perfect person for you. So this is where being known for, it's about being remembered clearly so that somebody could say, yes, I do know somebody who happens to be on LinkedIn. I'm a friend of hers, so I can either share her email address or I can share her LinkedIn profile to you. Or in a group chat on LinkedIn, I can connect the two of you together. So it's being known for something specific and what is it that drives conversations. So someone is going through situation E, they're going through situation B, and this person who they're speaking to, they know somebody and they could break down pretty clearly what it is that you do and get that person who's having that pain point, get that person excited and that person to say, oh my goodness, please connect me with her. So those are the questions. That's a question that I would love for you to ask yourself. Like what it is that you're sharing out there. Is it something that is very clear? Something that I like to do, and I mention this every so often, is that um, I will speak to a friend of mine who's not necessarily an entrepreneur, open up my laptop and show them my website as an example, and ask them to look at the page of my website, but the page of my website, like maybe the first half, and then close it after 10 seconds and let them kind of tell me what it is that they think that it is that I do. So is your content clear that somebody's going to understand what it is that you do and the value that you provide? And this is where LinkedIn 360 Brew comes in. And I mentioned in the video, I get the 360 part. I'm not too sure about the brew part, but maybe it's like a brew of coffee or a brew of what is in a soup pot, and everything all comes together. So I'm going to say that that's it until I continue to do my research. So LinkedIn's new algorithm, it's 360 Brew. And what it does is that it evaluates who to show up and it evaluates where to show that person, and to whom. So this is where it's constantly deciding who it is that you are relevant for And also, it's going to look at your consistency between your LinkedIn profile, also your network, and also your engagement history. So, who you are engaging with and who's engaging with your content as well. And of course, who it is that sees your content. So, LinkedIn is amplifying clarity, not just credentials. So, credentials are important, but it's also amplifying the clarity as well. It's going to look towards communicating who it is that you help and why it is that it matters. So, something that I mentioned in a template that I created in December is that in that template, there's a section that says, like, put in there why it is that it matters so that you're sharing, like, why it is that somebody needs you today. And also, the system is also going to know from all of this where to place you. So, I'm going to show you some examples of what it is that I've done for myself. And what I really like about this is that it is telling us that, you know what, we have to be clear. And that means we have to like step into our power. And I found a little bit of some inconsistencies in my own LinkedIn profile. I am not afraid to share it. And I realized that it was me not stepping into what it is that I do. So when you repeatedly have a point of view in your headline, so that point of view in your headline is what it is that you do and how it is that you help, but we don't have to say the word help, but having that point of view in your headline, in your about section. So what's in your headline, even though it's only 220-ish characters, what's in your headline should kind of align with what's in your about section and also in the themes of your content. So with your content, you might have you have different goals for your business, and then your content will get you to those goals. And perhaps within your content, you've got two or three services. I have about four services. I tend to highlight two, and then I try to get people on my email list. The two that I try to highlight, those are the ones that are going to get me to my business goal at the end of the year in terms of revenue and how many people I want to actually connect to. So all of those are going to be aligned. So when it's clearly stated, then LinkedIn knows where to place you, who to show you to, and when it's implied, and if it's just implied, so it's not very clear, the system is just going to move away and not really know how to categorize you. So you're being shown in front of your ideal clients, but it's also putting you in categories as well. And I'm going to talk about this. So when all of these systems are possibly pointing in different directions, then LinkedIn is going to limit how far your content is going to show beyond your immediate network. So LinkedIn, it's looking for alignment. So here's an example of a sentence that you can do for yourself. And I shared it in the group. So in 2026, I want to be known for helping this type of client, or perhaps you've got two or three different offers. So I want to be known for helping this type of client, or for offer B, this type of client with this problem or problems so they can do this. So that would be the transformation. So here are some ways that you can take a look at your LinkedIn profile and make small changes. And this is what I did for mine. So I'm going to jump to the right-hand side where you see that emoji of the spark. I like to use a spark in my LinkedIn content. So I have underlined the word women. So before it said, I help establish entrepreneurs stop playing small online. And to be honest, even though I work with all women, and I will admit that when men do reach out to me, the calls don't really go, like maybe there's not an alignment there. And the men that I do end up working with, they tend to be the ones where they know me for something and then they refer me. And then because it's something that they really wanted, those are the men I always end up working with. It's always like a referral. So it's like, okay, Boswell, as I refer to myself, okay, Boswell, like it's always women that are reaching out to you. So you know what? Put it in there. So last night I put in women. I help establish women entrepreneurs. So there it is. I have it in my about section. I do have established entrepreneurs in my headline, but it says established entrepreneurs. And then I put women in my about section, so at least it's in my profile. And an easy way that you can make another adjustment to your LinkedIn profile is your skills section. So the skills section, it is the most easiest area that you can make some updates. So here's a screenshot and of the skills section. And right at the top here, underneath the word skill, you can see I started spelling out the word women. So WOME. I didn't finish it off, but what happened was that this drop down occurred. So sometimes LinkedIn will help us out and give us some more suggestions. So we have like women's health, we have apparel, women's issues, we've got women-owned businesses. So that's something that I can tap on and put into my skilled section. We also have women's studies. So if you are helping, for instance, women entrepreneurs, and this is the example of a particular keyword here, you have all of these things to choose from. So I can choose women-owned business, and I could choose, I didn't see women entrepreneurs, but you could also add your skills there. So women entrepreneur or women entrepreneurs, it wasn't there, surprisingly. But what I did was I added it as a skill, and then I did put it into my LinkedIn profile in the skills section. So when you are adding skills, you want to ensure that it's a skill that aligns with who your target audience is. So, what is the keyword that they are looking for? I have people who find me because they're looking for individuals who work with women entrepreneurs. Um, I had I had a workshop last year and it was called Glow Up Your LinkedIn Profile. Glow Up Your LinkedIn Profile. That was the title, but even though I believe I give a glow up to a LinkedIn profile, I'm not putting it in the skills section because my target audience is not looking for that. So yes, you can use specific words that really work with what it is that you do. But you want to ensure that when it's in the skills section, you're working with words that your target audience is looking for. So those are two examples. So take a look at your headline, take a look at your about section, and the most easiest thing is the skills section. LinkedIn allows us to have up to 100 skills. I would say don't get to 100 skills because we don't want to have so many skills that it's going to have us showing up unnecessary. So keep it tight. And I would say that try to get that number anywhere between, like if you're just starting with this, anywhere between 40 to going high up to 75. I wouldn't exceed that because when you keep it nice and tight, then those are the people that you are working with. So here are some examples of actual LinkedIn posts. I hope I made this big enough, but I'll kind of like read through. So in your LinkedIn content, you want to state the challenge that your target audience is going through so that 360 Brew knows how to categorize you and the transformation that you're going to provide. So this is where you're going to be more clear. So here I have at the left-hand side, working with a business coach. This is her content. When your offer is unclear or overlooked, everything is harder. And where we have the X's, that's where she stated like what it is that the challenges are. For instance, you add more features trying to justify the price, or you lower your rates and you try to make it more accessible. So those are the challenges that women entrepreneurs are going for. And then she talked about what she does in her um, presentation that she was having. So the transformation is that we eliminate the confusing bloated offers. We define the one. irresistible offer that your clients actually want. So she's stating the transformation, but as she states that transformation, the reader is saying, oh, I don't have an irresistible offer. My offers are a little bit too bloated. Maybe this person can help me with what it is that I am going through. In the middle is a client of mine, and we are sharing their LinkedIn. We're sharing a newsletter from their website to LinkedIn, but we've made updates so we don't confuse the online space. We're not confusing Google, for instance. So we've made some changes, but we've ensured that we've got some keywords. So this here at the very top, it's not the actual blog, but it's an introduction to the blog. And the blog is called Self-Care Strategies for Caregivers. That's what it says on the banner. But the actual name of the blog is Self-Care Strategies for Caregivers. Prevent burnout and protect your well-being. So that is the actual title of the blog because on LinkedIn is not able to read the pictures or they're not able to read what is on a video. So the title is there so that LinkedIn can pick it up or Google can pick it up. And in the caption, we've ensured that we've talked about a bit of the challenges, some of the transformation that's going to happen. So in this caption, which when you click through, you're going to be able to read the full blog. Caring for others is meaningful work, but it can quietly drain even the most dedicated caregivers. That's the pain point. And then it says, in this issue of the Anchor Health Brief, we share practical, realistic self-care strategies to help caregivers protect their energy. So, and then it goes on to there. So this way, LinkedIn is going to pick up what's also in the caption and also Google or any other type of search engines, they're going to pick that up as well. And LinkedIn is going to be able to categorize you and know how to share that piece of content that you're sharing, who to share it to, and where to share it to. At the far right-hand side, this is for somebody who works with high net worth clients. So she does financial planning. She also provides insurance. And in her LinkedIn post, she has a picture, but this is her caption. Did you know I'm insurance licensed for high net worth individuals? And her target audience, they know themselves as being high net worth. So, for high net worth individuals, insurance may offer more than protection. And then she goes into here are five areas where insurance might play a meaningful role. So she states estate, liquidity, and succession. Her high net clients, they are looking that up on Google. She also talks about tax planning, legacy, and family support. That's what they are actually looking for. So she's got those keywords. They're heavy investors. So she's got portfolio diversification. And in each point, she shares like one sentence more and business continuity. And then she has a call to action that talks about reaching out to her. So this post is going to be shown in front of those who are the high net worth clients, or for people who might not maybe know that they're high net worth. Like sometimes, like we're in particular categories, but we don't know that we're high net worth. So for instance, Natasha, who's on the call, Natasha, Natasha, you work with high achievers. And I remember thinking like a while back, like what is a high achiever? And I looked at it. I looked it up on Google and I was like, yikes, I'm a high achiever. For instance, I have, Natasha, if you're still on the call, I have a bottle of wine that somebody gave me in 2020. So the business coach I was working with then, and she's like, if you make it out of this year, this is yours to celebrate. Well, everybody, that bottle of wine is still in my cabinet. I don't know. Maybe on another day you can anyone here can email me and let me know if it's still good. But I made it through 2020 and I actually surpassed my revenue. Like it was my year and a half in being an entrepreneur. But at the end of 2020, I was like, did I do enough? And I made another goal, and then I made another goal, and I never cracked that bottle open. So, what Natasha started to do in her content was that she started to describe what a high achiever is. So then somebody who was reading her content, they would be like, oh my goodness, this is me. And she started to have people reach out. So that's an example with the pain points, saying what the challenges that they are going through, and then talking about the transformation that you provide. And then 360 Brew will be able to categorize you. So here are some tips with regards to 360 Brew that you can start incorporating today. Remember to use keywords in your headlines or in your titles. So your LinkedIn headline, you don't want to stuff it with keywords, but having a few keywords in your headlines because you only have 220 characters. So use those keywords and also state the how it is that you help and the transformation that you provide. And also that you can do is work with content pillars. So content pillars are okay, I have my three goals for 2026. And in order to get to these three goals, I'm going to speak about these four things. I used to advise five, but now I'm advising four. And this is the research that I got with LinkedIn 360 Brew. Because if we've got the four content pillars, then we're keeping everything very tight. And then also use your industry specific terms with caution. So you're going to use those industry specific terms, like what is it that people are looking for you, but you don't want to stuff your content with jargon that people are not going to be able to resonate with. So use the terms that your ideal clients are using as well, but also you want to do those industry specific terms so that LinkedIn can categorize you. And also your target audience is going to find those industry specific terms when they're searching on a search engine as well. And then you're going to ensure that you are using SEO. So all of these are going to give you that search engine optimization by using those specific terms, using the terms that they have, and inserting the challenges that they have as well. So those are the small changes as we learn more about 360 Brew because it is only the 8th of January, so we've got a lot more to say about it, but I don't want you to wait until the 31st of January. We can start making these changes today. So that's it for my presentation, but I just want to share an example of where I've seen content go to waste. And I think I've shared this with a few people who are on this call. So last year there was a lot of talk, and there a lot of talk about AI and things like that. And I'm a believer in using AI, but of course, we want to ensure that when we're using AI for our business, we can use AI to create workflows. We can use AI so we are working like much more smoother. We can use AI in your content as well. And I saw a lot of people on LinkedIn calling it out that they saw, oh wow, there's a lot of AI being used on LinkedIn. And at first it was a little bit entertaining to me. But then as somebody who does marketing and knowing that, we're on LinkedIn, many of us are on LinkedIn to as entrepreneurs to have more people book with us. I kind of thought, ooh, maybe this is a waste of visibility and having us show up. Like it has, in some cases, it has nothing to do with our business. Or if you are going to call out AI, how it is that you can call it out and then highlight what it is for your business that you do. So for instance, there's somebody who I follow and she's a copywriter. She is so amazing. And some of her content would call out AI. But then I thought, wow, I think she's missing an opportunity here. So she calls out it was a rant, AI, and so many people are using this. And as I read, she didn't give a solution. And I think that for her, the AI was the pain point and what it is that she sees as being an expert in her industry. And I think that that was a great opportunity for her to share that. what it is that she does as a copywriter, or perhaps she can share that she uses AI, but how it is that she uses AI for her clients so that the messaging is more clear. And then there is, oh, I did have another example, but I cannot remember it right now. But yes, when you are on LinkedIn and you are calling something out, and LinkedIn kind of likes when we call things out. So if you're calling things out, then by all means, like share what it is in terms of the problems that you solve. And lastly, I know I'm talking about keeping things tight. And one of the questions that you might have, I definitely had this question. Well, sometimes I like to share a personal post. Like in December, I shared a personal post. I love the snow. Okay. I shared a personal post, and it wasn't about the fact that I love the snow, but I used that picture and I talked about how it is that I want to enjoy life a little bit more. And that means maybe incorporating some boundaries. Like I saw some gaps in my business and in my personal life. And I shared like a picture that only really shows what it is that I enjoy doing. But in that post, I shared it because A, I know it aligns with entrepreneurs. It might kind of confuse the 360 brew, to be honest, but I do think that sharing a post like that, because I do share a lot of content about what it is that I do in business, but sharing a post like that, it lets my target audience know who it is that they're working with. And also, I had some words in there like women entrepreneurs or business owners. So I just wanted to say that because at the end of the day, people love to do business with those individuals that they know, like, and trust. So have those posts, but the majority of your content would be about your business, and do not be afraid to shout out what it is that you do and stating clearly who it is that you help. So that is what I have. I'm going to leave my slides here, and I see that there are some questions. I'm going to go into the questions. So Natasha, she had jumped off, but I will make sure that this is up. Can the LinkedIn algorithm, so this is from Sarah, can the LinkedIn algorithm read the spoken content of video if closed caption is added to the transcript? Um, that's a good question because LinkedIn does allow us to use captions. I'm going to look that up, Sarah. I'm going to state too that with LinkedIn videos, when I put them up for my clients, I often turn the captions off with the LinkedIn video, and I usually add captions on a LinkedIn video before I upload it. And I add those captions on with an app called InShot. That's what I use. Or if it's like a short video that maybe would be about anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds, I will upload the video into Instagram, and then I'll add the captions, and then I'll download it back to my phone. I work on my phone quite often. And in that
That's
case, LinkedIn definitely can't read the captions. LinkedIn can, the algorithm cannot pick up the captions, but what I do as well with the videos is that I add a caption, and the caption doesn't explain the video entirely, but it aligns with the video or states some of the information in there and as keywords as well. And why I don't love to use the captions on LinkedIn is that if you're not pronouncing the words clearly, like I have some slurs in my words, and sometimes LinkedIn will spell things out incorrectly. You are able to go in and make edits to the caption, but I'm like, I don't have time for that. I just want things to be very, very smooth. So it will allow me to go in, but then I gotta go through and I have to type, and I just like to work fast. So when I'm putting in captions using InShot, which I can do for longer form videos or with Instagram, I can easily update the captions there or the videos. And then, what if you share personal stories that speak to what your business offerings are? Yes, you definitely can share personal stories. So, for you, Sarah, as an example, I'll just use this as an example. you have your space for businesses, and a lot of businesses are going back into the office. And I know that you want to address some of those challenges. So you could have a personal post as an example where it's a picture of you, or perhaps it's just a text post, which is what I like about LinkedIn. You can do text posts only. And it could be a personal post about what it is that you have seen working in corporate or what it is that you see in the news. So these are like your personal point of view or your personal experiences. And this is why I have this service or this is why I have this service or this product. And this is how it can address the challenges as an example. So you can unmute. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that answers both of those questions. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to leave the screen on and I'm going to go silent. I'm like, if anyone has any questions about 360 Brew, or, perhaps like if you're watching this on desktop, or if you're watching this on desktop and maybe you're taking a look at your LinkedIn profile, maybe you've got some questions, or just in general, like, what questions does anyone have here about their visibility on LinkedIn?
I have a question. I think in my profile, it must talk about doing consulting services. So I haven't subscribed to doing premium yet. I don't know why I'm just putting it off because I just haven't seen the benefit of subscribing. It's just one extra cost, but I will. I keep saying I will, and of course I will, but I just haven't yet. And so I've probably had maybe 4 or 5 requests now for consulting services, which I do not provide, but my website will start to provide. I'm just about to launch that. But it's like I can't actually I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that you could do a request of services to people. Um, and I don't know that that's even advertised. Do you know about that?
Yeah, so LinkedIn has a services area. And so I do have LinkedIn Premium. And I want to say you don't have to have LinkedIn Premium. I always let everyone know that um, it's a good idea to use a trial because it's free and then you
Yeah.
can send out as many connections as you want. And Sylvia, we were on a call like last month. And so because I have always found that I'm stopped at about 30 when I'm sending connection requests, but I'm testing now to see because I don't know if like once I'm stopped, like, could I go on the following week? Because to be honest, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's all I can do. Let me just go. And I go back the following month. But so I'm testing. January is my testing phase. So with LinkedIn, if we can like send out more than 100, then maybe you don't need to have LinkedIn Premium. But what's been happening with the services section for those who do not have LinkedIn Premium is that, so in that section, people can reach out and they could request about your services.
Mhm.
So what I have found in the free version of LinkedIn is that sometimes individuals get more spam requests in there. So
Oh,
yeah, sometimes I have seen that. So just read through and if it doesn't align, then you can delete. I wouldn't recommend like answering. I do have, so in my LinkedIn Premium section, I have LinkedIn Premium. My services section shows like right on my profile. Like
mhm.
that's something that I like. I like the aesthetics of of LinkedIn Premium, what it can give me. I've had, to be honest, I've had like 3 people actually use that section, and they were legit sections, but 3 people. Whereas so many more people, they just reach out to me in my DMs.
Yeah.
Or so social media does not like when we share links, but LinkedIn, same thing, but I share links on LinkedIn and I take a look. So on my website, I have Google Analytics, and I am happy that people have clicked over from LinkedIn and they've gone to my website. Or I did have a workshop in November, and they clicked the link, went to my website, and then they bought a ticket. So I'm all about like sharing those links. So LinkedIn Premium, yes, your services section can show up, and maybe like I haven't seen spam in my services section, but I will say three people used it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that in terms of like LinkedIn Premium, it's and I did share a video, LinkedIn Premium, yay or nay, and you could decide like, okay, is that something that I really, really need? Or can I just use the free version of LinkedIn and really optimize it, like really use it? And then when I feel like I'm being blocked or I want more, then I'm going to pay for LinkedIn Premium or I'm going to use the trial and then move forward after that.
Do you get more connection requests with premium than the free one? Because if you're
So,
getting blocked at 30, then you're not, right?
well, so do I get, as in, do more people send me connection requests?
Can you send out more connection requests with premium than with the free?
Well, this is where I'm doing my testing, right?
Okay.
So one of my clients, I've been sending, it's January 8th, and I got to the blurry faces where it's
Yes.
saying, are you sure you don't want to get LinkedIn Premium? So it is the week of the 8th or the week of, this week. So next week, I'm going to see if I can start sending out more requests again.
Okay.
So, but I will say she's got free LinkedIn. And what usually happens in December, so she usually says to me for December, you know what? Let's go. She always says, like, let's like curtain call, let's go dark. And take a little bit of a break, Dee, and we're not going to share any content for the last 2 weeks. And I said to her, you know what? I really think we should. We don't have to share we don't have to share 5 or 6 a week, but maybe like let's just see what happens when we share three, just to keep your visibility up and we can schedule it. So her content has been being shared on LinkedIn. And this is what has happened this week is that she got a request and a link to appear on somebody's podcast.
Hmm.
She had somebody reach out and use the magic word, like DM me this word. So I don't believe those two things would have happened if she wasn't as visible. So and she's got the free LinkedIn and we're optimizing. So with LinkedIn Brew, I will be like taking a look at her about section though and making some updates. But I would say that we did get blocked, but things are still happening for her on LinkedIn. And
Okay.
we're writing content with using 360 Brew because that's when I started like really getting into it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sarah had said something
Oh,
about um how many requests. So I guess I'm just talking connection requests, like sending out invites, because I send out a lot. And I don't get capped up at 150. And I did test it after we talked again.
oh,
Yeah, and I was able to go because I did it just last week, and then it capped at 150. But then I'm fine again this week. So I think it's 150 a week.
okay.
Um, but I don't know. But I know followers. You can't send out more than 250 followers in a month, right? Following
Yeah,
requests.
but you know what? With followers, like I follow people where I'm really going to get a lot of value from their content because once I start following just like, okay, so my following process, if I want to eventually connect with somebody, I'll follow them for a bit, like hit the follow button, and Sarah, I'm going to answer your question. I will hit the follow button, and then I will engage with their content, and then I'll send a connection request. But otherwise, when I'm just following people, I'm following individuals because I really enjoy their content or
Mhm.
it's something that's going to be helpful. Because if I follow a lot of people, like if I'm trying to hit that 200 just to follow, their content is also going to land in my feed. And it's like, do I want to see all of that content as
Mm.
well? So I just think about like being mindful about what it is I want to see when I open up my phone.
So also following for like the business page. sending
Oh,
the following requests. You can only do 250 of those a
oh,
month, right?
sorry.
Does
Yes.
that change with premium?
With the premium account for the company page or
Yeah.
premium with the profile. So premium for the profile, it does not change.
Okay.
For the company page, I will find this out because I was doing some research. I think it does change, but the question is, so the magic happens in your profile and your company page gives you credibility.
Right.
And LinkedIn company page to do to pay for LinkedIn Premium, I believe it's $99 US. Might be $99. I think it's $99 US.
Really? A month?
Yes. Unless if you, of course, do it for the whole year. It's either 199 or 99. I looked it up last night because I'm like, because I did cut
Okay.
some business expenses. So I'm like, should I take some of that I've cut and put it into my marketing? And I'm like, well, I think I'm going to go to my gym theory where I want to ensure that my company page, so I'm working with my VA to make sure that I'm really keeping it active and then decide whether or not I want to do the LinkedIn Premium for the company page. But I will find out. I'm writing this down because I don't want to forget. I will find out if you can have more people following it. But just know that if you have more people following it, it means you have to make sure you have content for it all the time. So what is your bandwidth like? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sarah, you were asking about, I guess you're asking about, it seems like you can't send out as many messages to people past your second degree connection. So that you'll be talking about your third connections. So your third connections are individuals who, and I'm just going to explain this in case not everyone knows. So your second connection is that somebody you're connected to Anya, and you're not connected to Sylvia, who's connected to Anya, and Sylvia would be a second connection request. And then third means that that person is not connected to anybody in your network. I have found, and studies have also shown, that people who are your third connection, so there's absolutely like no connection, they're not always ones to accept your connection request. They're usually the ones to say, why is Sarah? Why is this person reaching out? So they may accept or they may not. I don't, as far as I know, I don't think that you can like LinkedIn will lessen the amount of people you're allowed to send connection requests overall. I will look that up, but I don't think that that's the case. But I also know that if LinkedIn caps you, which we're finding out it could be that LinkedIn's going to cap you at 150, then I would send out requests to individuals who are like second connection requests, as an example. However, I love to write LinkedIn newsletters, and LinkedIn newsletters they put me in front of individuals who are not connected to me. And I've also found that I've gotten subscribers to my LinkedIn newsletters who are third connection requests. So to me, now that somebody who is a third, like somehow they found my LinkedIn newsletter, they subscribed, they're not connected to anyone who I know. And then I take a look at who is this person, and I'm like, ooh, I literally do this. That person's probably my target audience or maybe a great collaborator, and they subscribed. The door is open. So I send them a connection request, and then they're going to be like more likely to accept. And then I can start like a conversation or also engage. So that's when, and yes, I do reach out to people who are at third, but I don't do it very often because I find that they don't usually respond back.
So I think where if you have premium, you have more messages that you can send to people that are third. So if you want people to actually like accept your connection invite, typically if I reach out to a third that looks like a good, collaborator for me, then if I add a message about like, why am I trying to connect with you? Then typically they do get
Excellent.
taken, but I think the challenge is if you don't have premium, you don't get to use that messaging So maybe you don't care, like maybe you're not reaching out to a whole bunch of people that are like third degree to you.
Yeah, like I've built my network so much that I don't have to do that. So LinkedIn, for the unpaid version of LinkedIn, they used to allow people to send 15 DMs. They dropped that down to three. And for LinkedIn Premium, it used to be unlimited DMs. And then last year they dropped that down to 15. But absolutely, I would do that. So usually, like the people who I'm working with, they're just getting their feet wet on LinkedIn, so I don't really move into the thirds for them. And then for myself, my network is I have like quite a few people I'm connected to. Plus, I can ask my network for introductions, so I don't often use the third. However, in terms of my business this year, I'm trying to look for ways to even be even more resilient. So for myself, I'm looking for opportunities to expand my business where perhaps I can work with organizations that have budgets where they want to bring in a presenter for LinkedIn. And therefore, I might not be connected. They might be third. So in that case, I definitely would use the third connections and then also add a note.
So is that 15 messages? Is that per week or per month?
Oh, that's definitely per month.
Per month.
Yes, 15 DMs for premium per month. And for the free version where it used to be 15, it's down to three per month.
And is that completely strange? Like people that you're not connected, like strangers, I said, people you're not connected with, or people that you're connected with, you can write to as much as you want, right?
Oh, once I'm connected with them, I can send multiple messages.
It's just people you're not connected with that,
Yeah.
okay.
But you
I
know
just don't see the
what?
benefit for premium. I just don't. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, but you know what? I don't worry. I worried about it when that first came through, but now that I'm always like I share consistent content, and also when I send out a connection request, I don't always send a DM with it. Like I'm talking about second, because the individuals are usually aligned, so they're more there's a bigger chance that they're going to say yes. And then I save my 15 for when I really need it. And then
Yeah.
when they accept, then I'll say, Sylvia, thanks so much for the connection request. Happy Friday. Like I keep it nice and light.
Okay.
Some last week somebody went immediately into he owns restaurants in Arizona. Listen to your intuition. I was like, do I want to accept this? I accepted it. And then he started sending me links to his YouTube, sending me links to his website. And I was like, oh, I should listen to my intuition. And I just, for maybe there wasn't much happening that day. I just said, oh, do you need LinkedIn services? And he said, oh, no, not yet. And I said, well, I don't live in your country. And I didn't know that. And I just said it in a nice way. I wasn't aware that accepting your request would mean that you would be sending me all of this information. Oh, sorry, he said. But going forward, I will listen to my intuition for the next 3 weeks. And then I'm sure in a while I'm going to say, just let that person in. But there you go.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're getting to the end, but I always have a minute or two if anyone has any more questions. No? Okay.
Probably have lots of questions for you later.
Oh, okay. We'll talk later. So I will continue to update about 360 Brew. I am working on a template. I'm working on it, so I'm hoping it will turn out for how it is that you can create content with 360 Brew in mind, but that's taking a while. And then another update that will be happening is that, every quarter we have like a membership spotlight where a member will be the one who is presenting and they will have access to the video. So I'm just working on like some procedures there and I'll be sharing that this week. And lastly, I did connect with somebody who's going to be our presenter for this month, the fourth Tuesday. And she said yes. So I sent her the email to for her to let me know what it is that she's going to be speaking about. And I will make the announcement about who is going to be our Momentum Tuesday speaker. So we could, apply some new tactics with regards to our business. And you'll be able to follow her up on LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well,
Is
thank you.
there, I just saw you mention the LinkedIn newsletters. Do you have any information on that, or can you do a session on that? Or is there a video that you've already done on that?
I did do a video and I had a workshop, but I did share a post
Okay.
about 3 weeks ago. And in that post, I put in all the videos that I did for LinkedIn newsletters.
Oh, okay.
So when we get off this call, I'm going to immediately tag you. I'm going to tag everybody. And since we're all on this call, and then you'll see I have it all listed out in order. And I think I have a template in there as well.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
Yes.
sounds good.
Okay, everyone. So
Great.
thank
Thanks so
you.
much.
Great call. And I am at home, so this will be uploaded today along with the previous months. Thanks, everybody.
Good. Thanks.
Take care. Bye.